Welcome back, everybody, to the Burchalations podcast, episode 42. Is that what it is?
Yes, 42.
42, man. And we appreciate y'all coming back and watching the all hell break loose, man. If you are,
My bad.
If you are returning, please make sure you share this video, subscribe. Link in the description down below. We got some new guests today, and this is about a certain topic that I think me and you can relate to, because me and you, we live this life, Justin.
Yeah.
We are, I guess, what they call like byproducts of.
Yeah, we're byproducts of it.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Byproducts of single motherhood.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have two guests that are actually single mothers themselves, I guess. Or you're in a relationship, but for the sake of prior experience, you were a single mother.
Basically married. Now. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm basically married, but
you're
seems
not.
that way.
You're not married.
I mean, basically.
You're just not with the father of the
I'm
child.
not with. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
but we how about y'all introduce yourselves? Tell us who you are, what's your name, where you're from.
I'm Sam.
Body count, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Social
I don't
security
know all
number.
that,
Social security number.
I mean, it ain't bad, but
The back three numbers on your
you don't have to say
debit
body
card.
count.
I don't even know my back three numbers. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I'm a little behind. I'm Sam. I'm 23, and I'm a mom to two girls.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm Mary Kate. I'm 21, and I am mom to a boy.
All right.
A little boy. Now,
Good not.
good night. You prefer to have girls?
I do.
Dude, I want
Crazy.
a girl so bad.
My girls normally are very well behaved. MK had my youngest today, and apparently it was rough.
Yeah.
She hasn't had a nap. She went to an Easter egg hunt today, so she was a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
But normally my girls are on 10 when they're out in public, because I'll be damned.
You be ready to
Yeah.
whoop
I
them.
am that kind of mom, though. So,
Yeah. So is our mom. I was scared.
but see, y'all have respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And fear. But
Well, fear is a sign
That's
of
okay.
respect.
yeah. It's like reverence. It's
Yeah.
a respect.
Yeah, fear is a
So,
sign of respect.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Let's see. How you want to start this, Judge? You want to go first, or
You can go first, man.
You want me to go first?
Yeah. Go ahead and go first.
Okay,
scared.
so let's now obviously, for the most of the part, you were a single mother, and I'm sure certain things weren't easy. I'm sure it wasn't easy going through all that stuff. So I give props to both of y'all, because that can't be
No.
easy at all.
Yeah.
Being a single mother, man, it takes you're doing a 2-person job.
I mean, even when we were together, I was doing it alone.
Yeah.
And moms never forget that stuff. Like when you're pregnant, when you're having the baby, you never forget.
Okay. And I want to ask a quick question. How were they before the pregnancy, before the whole pregnancy?
How were me and their
Yeah.
Like your baby, like the biological father.
How were they?
How were y'all before
Before the
great.
pregnancy.
before crazy things broke
when
loose?
he had an anger issue before we got pregnant, and it was pretty bad. But once we found out I was pregnant is when the hands started getting.
Isn't that crazy though?
Oh, shit.
You would think that once someone be pregnant, you'd be ready to
That's when he put his hands on me the most, is when I was pregnant.
Why is that? Do you know the reason why?
We got pregnant with my oldest when we were 18. And he was in college. He was failing out of college, but he was in college. And he got mad that he could not live the life that he wanted to, because he had a sports car. He had carefree money.
My boy wanted that Playboy lifestyle.
Yeah,
that bachelor life.
He had something like that. And
He thought his life was over because he was going to have a kid,
and
basically.
he is now posting on social media how he has a carefree life, but he misses having a family, or he wants a family. And I'm like, you don't even see your kids, my dude. What?
But I also think they think it's not. I think they try to blame us, try and blame you.
Oh, he 100% blames
It takes
me.
two. Growing up, it takes two to a tango. And we didn't you didn't just do it by yourself. You know, it takes two.
Yeah,
And-
it takes two to make the kid.
Yeah,
and,
it doesn't just take
if,
one.
If this guy that you were, that you had that interaction with, if he had that, carefree money and that lifestyle
Right.
and stuff, I think it would be easier to take care of a family.
You would
know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, why
Yeah.
would you
Yeah.
want to get
Right.
selfish there?
And I mean, like, when we found out about our oldest, we were 3 months along. Like, we didn't have any idea. And when we found out, it was obviously, 3 months. 3 whole months.
That girl went on NASCAR. That girl went fast, man.
And it's what irritates me even more is the fact that she's disabled. And you would think if you had a disabled child, you would want to be in that child's life.
Yeah.
My boy had a cold heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, Parker. But
He has no heart.
yeah, but one thing about that is I think whenever we talk about the whole single motherhood, I think your situation is a very, very big exception due to the fact that your oldest is disabled. So it plays a whole different. It's like there's like a whole different set of rules
Yeah.
compared to what the regular single mother would have to do because you have a disabled kid. So I think that makes things a little bit different than usual.
Yeah, I agree so too. One thing that I've always wondered about, because I mean I've hung out with you, Mary Kate, and I've definitely seen you around for sure. I've been to both of y'all's homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm seeing the way that y'all go about life and things like that. And I was like, man, these girls are really strong. I couldn't do this right now. I need I need help. I need balance and stuff like that. So I also, whenever I see y'all look at our mother, for example, for someone that worked full-time job and also did a whole nother full-time job, because being a mother is a full-time job. I don't think people realize how hard it is. If anything, it's one of the hardest jobs out here. And I just want to kind of want to ask her, what kind of support systems have been most helpful to y'all as a single mother?
Great question.
Because, I mean, I'm sure you
Great
know,
question.
Honestly, my friends. I mean, and that's sad. It's not sad, but it's also sad to say at the same time. Like, you want your family. You know? And I will say, I do have family members who do, help with everything. And, for example, they take Oakland in as, one of us, too.
Yeah.
for sure.
But mostly it would be my friends. Like Sam, I could call her at any moment and she would be there. Like Parker, you hung out with Dax last summer? You all came swimming?
I think so.
Yeah, me and my sister. Yeah, we all came. We came over to the house and we all cooked.
Man, that was hilarious.
My sister can't cook, but
Sister
hey,
cannot cook.
dude,
You cannot cook.
was
He has
bad.
sound effects. He has a sound effect that I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, so you actually saw him and he it was friends. It's all that I can count on.
Yeah, it was cool.
Sad.
I lost a lot of my friends when we found out that Riley was sick. Is when a lot of my friends walked away because
Crazy.
it's a hard thing. To know that, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to bury my child one day. A lot of my friends were like, "That's too much," and I don't blame them. We were young. We found out that Riley was sick when we were pregnant with her. We just didn't know what was wrong. But, I mean, I don't really have any family. I've got my friends, but my dad, him and I talk on a daily basis, but I think he's still scared, too, because, unfortunately, something had happened due to my baby daddy. It's neglect. My daughter ended up having to get another set of equipment with everything that she's got going on. So I think my mom is not around. I don't care to have her around, but my dad is scared, and I don't blame him. That's why I give Jacob so much credit for stepping into the life that he did, because
Shout out to Jacob, man.
Like,
Shout out to
it's-
Jacob.
it's a hard role.
That boy is a different breed. You know how,
Man.
you know what it takes to kind of take that responsibility upon yourself?
Yeah, it takes a lot.
It takes a lot of love, a lot of just,
Yeah.
that boy different.
It takes a lot. Cause
I know a lot of guys that will not step up to that position.
And I was really scared because, he met Oakland before he met Riley, because, again, when it comes to Riley, I kind of keep her in a bubble because she gets sick so easily.
Mhm.
But when he met her, it was like he didn't look at her any differently.
That's how you knew you had something there. So,
Yeah.
But when I met Riley, I didn't look at her.
No.
I mean, I love them both. Like, they are mine. Like, I love them.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even know that stuff was going on with Riley.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess I really wasn't really involved in it. I guess I was just chilling at the time.
I mean, I post most of it, like, for family members on Facebook, but...
Okay, yeah, I don't use Facebook like
right.
that.
Riley almost passed away a couple months ago.
Wow.
That broke me. Like, I was at work crying.
It was pretty scary.
Was
somebody
it a sickness?
Huh?
Was it like a sickness or?
My baby daddy snuck somebody around my child who I did not want around my child, and her child was sick. Knowing that her child was sick, she brought her child around my daughter, and it ended up getting Riley sick and paralyzed her intestines.
Wow.
She got what's called an ileus, and ileus usually go away on their own, and hers did not. And so she ended up having to get an ostomy bag. And unfortunately, when they did the ostomy surgery, they nicked her intestines and didn't know, and sent her septic for a week.
That is.
Oh wow!
I was crying on the daily.
I was not
She
expecting
came to my job
that.
one time.
Like
I was so upset.
And I still cry. Like, randomly, I'll be sitting at home, and I'll just cry because it's a lot. Like, I'm only 23.
Yeah.
And she doesn't deserve it because she can't do the things that she loves anymore because of it.
Yeah.
And for him to just not care.
Does he ever like? Are you still in contact with him, or like when it comes to like phone number or just stuff like that?
So,
Wait, real quick. Can you turn that? Can you put that switch downwards?
about a
You'll be
month
cold.
ago,
My toes. Yeah.
Is why you wear socks.
Bitch, I'm in my house.
Wait.
Okay.
That one? Wait, did we go off?
The third one.
The third one. The one. Yeah. There you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
about a month
That's my
ago,
assistant. Yeah.
he actually ended up texting me randomly and was like, "Are you off today?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, I was going to see if you guys wanted to get lunch." And I was like, "No." And then he was like,
No.
like, "I'm sorry, no." And he was like, "Well,
Nope.
one day, like, can we do the zoo or do the park? Like, you can bring Jacob." And I think he was calling my bluff, thinking I wasn't going to bring the man who's been raising his kids around. And I was like, let's do Wednesday. And so we ended up doing Wednesday. Jacob came with. He showed up late. And he did play with them for a little while. But exactly a week later, mind you, that week span, he never texted me asking how they were doing, checking in on them, nothing. Like, no, thank you for letting me see my kids when I want to be a dad, nothing. He said, "I don't think I should see them anymore. I can see myself doing something dumb soon." And then a couple of days later, Jacob and I were at the store, and I get a text message, and he said, "I'm sorry for not getting help sooner." And Jacob texted him back, because I'm that type of person. Like, if it's not about the kids, don't text me. Like, if it's not about you paying for the kids, you doing what you're supposed to, because he's not on child support. He's about to be, and he's about to be very upset when he gets those papers.
Man, he got that carefree money, man. You go take care of these kids.
Yeah.
Man. Wow.
And
We need some more sound effects.
We do, man.
Jacob ended up texting him and was like, "Hey, if it doesn't have anything to do with the girls, don't call, don't text. Like, there needs to be boundaries."
How old is this man?
My baby daddy? 24.
And he
You
acts
gotta
like
have
a
something going on. I mean, you gotta have some. You gotta have
He
something
ended up
going for you.
shooting himself that night.
Yeah. He acts like a
But
Oh, don't
only,
get Justin started on that.
only
on that topic.
because I sent his sister the screenshot, and she ended up going over to the house, and I guess he like had a gun to his head and all this stuff. Well, the cops ended up shooting him with a beanbag, and he shot himself in the stomach, and then called me from the mental hospital a couple days later, and I answered it, and I said hello, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "You know who this is, don't act stupid." And so Jacob took the phone and was like, "What do you need?" And he was like, "I want to talk to Sam." Jacob was like, "No, I'm right here. Like, what's up?" And he was like, "Is she busy?" And Jacob was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "No, I want to talk to her." Jacob was like, "No." And so he hung up on it.
That baby daddy got the text message saying like, "Hey, she busy, bro."
All right, dog.
That's insane.
Man.
That's basically what he said. Like, "Hey, she busy, bro. You're done, man. It's over with.
guys.
You're cooked, man."
And I give Jacob a lot of credit because he could have walked out. Like, that's a lot.
You don't see guys like that who put up with that crap.
Especially
Because
in
all these
a
places
bar
don't want
setting. In a bar setting,
And that's how we met.
I know, but like there are certain guys that go to bars, right? So for you to like get that guy out of everyone
I know.
for that low probability state, man,
all because we played cornhole at Revolver one night.
Yeah, we literally sat there. And we're
it'd
like,
be the
we're
time
never
where you
going
least
back.
expect it.
It really was because MK and I talked about going to that bar multiple times, and
We only went for one reason though.
What was that reason?
Anyways,
And
Dumbass.
we got up there, and I looked at MK and I said, "We're never coming back." I was like, "This place is boring." We go out to the car and we come back in.
I heard it's a lot better now.
it's okay.
It's okay. I mean, they're bringing in some weird people, but
Yeah,
it's neither here nor there.
I don't think it's worth the drive, in my opinion.
Once you make a pit stop at Jacob's house, it's really not that bad.
Right, but if you don't,
It's pretty bad.
it's bad. It's like straight.
Wow. All right, so
Can I say something real quick, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hearing,
Yeah, man.
After
Yeah.
hearing what she has said, man,
I know it's a lot to
I think
unpack.
I need to say something.
There's a
real
lot to unpack here.
Welcome
quick.
to my daily life.
Not every man needs to have kids, bro. I'm just saying,
they
bro.
don't.
Straight up,
I'm
man.
just saying, not every man needs to
I
have
say
kids.
this, man.
And
Every
here's another thing that I will say: not every girl needs to make these
I agree.
fathers, okay? Because
I agree.
I think we need to go back to the time where we actually acknowledge to men that being a father is a privilege. Having children is a privilege for us
Yeah.
men. Like, I mean, because not every man gets to reproduce. So.
Back when I was on live that day, you said, "Speaking of single moms."
Well, man, I was gonna go in, but I always say this: every child deserves a parent. Not every parent deserves a child. And with
Ding.
the sad thing about it is that Justin says this 1,000 times, and we'll say it until the freaking, till we die. Women they control who gets.
They control who has sex.
Yeah, they control who
Right.
gets brought into this world and all that stuff, and they select these kind of men. So if girls are going with these men that act a certain way or don't really
Right.
act more ideal and stuff like that, the other guys that are doing something else are going to look at them and be like, "Oh, so that's how they get it. Okay, I'm gonna start acting like this."
Right.
Well, in reality, it doesn't really work in the long run. So for all these, for like the nice guys that kind of treat girls well and things like that, to those that may not be getting the results that they want, I think it's more of a long game. And I say, look at the kind of girls that you really are going for. Are they wanting that kind of guy, or are they wanting some guy to kind of treat them like garbage? You know what I mean?
But here's another thing that you miss. Here's another thing that you forgot to say. And let's be real, you forgot to say this. How many dudes want to play the long game? How many dudes want to wait until that woman
Yeah.
is 30 years old and lost all of her
I did
eggs,
not say that.
lost all of her eggs and been through the stuff that she's been through? Like, how many people want to wait that long?
That's true. Most guys don't want to wait. They want kids that like.
How many people want to wait for someone to heal?
And
How many people really do want to wait that long?
And it's a hard thing because, like, there will be things that Jacob does or, like, Jacob says that bring back to,
Or do they like trigger certain parts of
Yes.
like your past?
yes.
So that is a real thing.
And it's hard because the other day we were having Oakland's birthday and he was putting stuff in the fridge and he was joking around about everything in the fridge. And I was like, okay, like, I'll just take it out tomorrow. And he was like, I was kidding. And I was like, okay, but you don't understand, that stuff hurts. And then when we first got together, he went to go tickle me, but he raised his hand and, like, I flinched.
See, I do that all the time
Trauma.
because of the past.
Tough.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's crazy because y'all are so young and been through so much, and it's like girls
Like-
y'all age shouldn't be going through this kind of stuff.
And you don't
man.
see
It's
that as like a
crazy,
problem?
man.
You don't see that as a problem?
It is a problem.
But what's the common denominator for most of the girls who've been through what they've been through?
The first time that he ever...
What's the common denominator?
I don't know. That's
The
why
common
I'm-
denominator is that they were the ones leading their own lives.
The girls.
Yes,
The girl. Yeah.
that's the common denominator. They
Most
choose
girls-
who they chose, and
And most girls get with guys that don't even like lead their own life correctly.
And he didn't.
Like they're not like there aren't guys out here that are getting it by themselves or I mean you helped I mean you helped someone come up like crazy and
And
I'm
I've
thinking
gotten zero out of it.
you got nothing out of it. I'm sure
Literally
you Sam.
nothing.
I'm
Every day. How
I'm
The
many
way
sure
Justin about choked on his drink right there.
sorry,
How many times? Like, To this day,
I told him.
cry.
So that's
How often
yeah,
do
you
I
know
get onto
everything.
her for that though?
I'm sure you've
A
probably.
lot. But it's hard.
It is hard.
It's
And I get
hard
it.
as... Are we allowed to cuss?
But yeah,
It's
Okay,
Burchalations.
it's hard as hell.
but think about this though. What's the common denominator for you doing that? Is that you made the choice to do it?
I did, but I also felt like
Well, I mean, you did it because I mean, like, you obviously loved the crap out of that guy, and
I loved him more than I loved anybody else.
that's crazy.
And I didn't get that back.
And for it not to work out, like, you know, it's gonna make you look at certain guys in a different way now.
Yeah, I was like always being compared to his exes, and it's like I'm not your ex. And I would always try to like
Yeah,
One up.
I want to talk about your exes in a relationship.
yeah.
I would hope as a guy that you would move on from that.
I really
you would
don't.
think.
And girls, you know what I mean? But we talked, you know what I mean? And
You know everything.
and it's just, and before you told me that, I thought this guy just had it. I mean, I thought he had it like that, you know? I was like, okay, he getting it, you know?
Nah, nigga.
Nah, nigga.
He ain't even close.
No.
And I want to know, like,
And
here's the thing, though, like, what kind of game is this guy playing for? a
Here's
girl
another
to be-
thing, though.
to go that far to treat a guy like
But here's another thing for it though. It's a slap in the face to people like me who are really out here trying to get it for themselves. It's really a slap in the face, and to know that, and to
making
know
us
that,
look- he making us
and
look
to know
bad.
that someone else who's doing the opposite behavior is being validated. It starts to piss you off a little bit.
And he making us look bad, right?
Yeah, and it makes you like wonder, like, why do you even try to be this person when this person doesn't ever get rewarded? This why you see a lot of people turn into pieces of shit.
I've
Yeah.
gotten $0.00 ever.
How
in my
many
life.
presents have you gotten?
0.
Zero.
The only time that person's been there for me, twice. That was my birthday, and then a situation that
I don't agree that he was there for you. I think that he was there because he felt like he had to be there, not because he wanted to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
maybe because he thought he was going to get some from it.
Or something else.
Or
Not that.
Nah.
Most definitely not that.
Well, hey, man, you know what they say? Good penis is a broke man's currency.
Oh, okay.
If
He's
a
not wrong.
If
He's
a
not
guy
wrong.
is broke and he got nothing going for himself, what else does he got? He got
He could fuck a girl for housing.
Justin gives no fucks.
What
He
did
could
you
fuck a
say?
girl for housing.
He said, and I quote, that guy be fucking girls for housing.
There's guys who do that.
I mean,
There's
he got
guys who do that.
house out of it.
I mean, my baby daddy ended up keeping the house that we were in, and now
See, this that shit right here. I be
That's what
talking
we're
about,
talking
man.
about. It's like, dang, why should I work hard if there are guys that do nothing but getting everything?
you think that's bad? My boyfriend, my baby daddy's mommy pays for all his stuff, pays for the house that he's living in, pays for the
Yeah.
truck that
I thought
he's
he had
driving.
money like that though.
Oh.
And she literally pays for everything. And it's disgusting because
It's
the day I
disgusting.
moved out of that, we had a 3-bedroom house. The day I moved out, he gave both of our daughters' rooms away to one of his friends
Sure.
and then used it as storage. So, like, our kids had nothing there. And I found out that every time they were going over there, he looked me dead in the face and said, pick which one I feed because I'm not going to feed them both.
That is actually.
One has a
insane.
feeding tube. One,
That's
all you
insane.
have to do is put up to a machine to feed.
One, she can't even eat.
That's what I'm
food
saying.
like that.
You literally
That
put her
is
up to a
actually
machine to
That's
feed
insane.
her.
There's guys
Wrong
out
with
here
these
that,
niggas, bro.
that
And-
don't even like.
And at that point, my youngest was still breastfed, so I sent all her milk over there.
And these people are having kids.
These people having
He
kids.
ended
man.
up getting with a girl who had a child, but called his own kids animals.
See, this is crazy because it's like,
Listen, to all guys out there, before you even think about going through that Playboy crap, man, it ain't worth it, man. You can't.
I
Live
mean-
with, you ain't gonna be able to live with yourself.
it's about being a
afterwards,
playboy,
man.
man. It's about being just
Just a good man, a good human being.
someone who's worth the damn.
Like, Justin, get off Snapchat.
Hey, don't do that.
You're literally right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
see
know.
you on
I
Snapchat.
see you.
I could be on. Never mind.
Wait, what?
He mentioned me in his story.
Oh,
God.
I thought you had like that Snapchat Plus thing to where like you can see what everybody's doing at what time.
Man, people who have Snapchat Plus, they just ask to be
I have
unhappy.
Snapchat Plus. I have Snapchat Plus.
You need to get.
If you're someone who just
you need to
always
delete
looks,
that.
if you're someone who just always look for something negative in your partner, you're
I
asking
just
to
do
be
it because
unhappy.
I like my icon to be changed.
Yeah.
see,
And I like to see who can like replay my.
Well, I don't
paid
care
for
for that because it doesn't tell you who it is.
but here's the point that I'm trying to make though. there's a lot of people out here who spy on their partners, who always look for something bad about their partners. That way that they can have something to argue about. But here's my thing. If you're going to do that with your partner, then you're just asking to be unhappy. You deserve to be unhappy at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob and I don't do that. I don't have his location. He has mine, but it's only because I sent it to him one day and I just haven't taken it off, and I have nothing to hide. Like, I don't.
I mean, yeah.
That's good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't mind telling my partner everything, but it's like it gets to like a point. Like if I'm telling you everything and I still see that I don't really
get anything from it.
If I don't really like benefit from it, like why would I continue to do it?
Why can't guys just work, man?
Because it's like, man, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. All my life, bro. What have I've usually been kind to people. I usually been pretty selfless to people. I'll help out anyone who needs it if it's in my power. Like I'm usually like down to do anything for anybody. But I think in 2024, I'm gonna start being selfish.
That's how I'm gonna start doing. Literally, I'm out. Like
you fed up.
I'm honestly fed the fuck up.
You fed up, man. Listen,
it's like, man, because they don't want to doing shit for me.
I'm fed up.
Honestly, no one's doing shit for me. So it's like, man, why would I continue to do stuff for them? It's like you're just like asking because I think that.
That's me.
I think that, and this was going to be my next question, but here was my thing, okay? It's like, I know that I'm worth the damn, and I've proven that I'm worth the damn, and my reality shows that I'm worth the damn. So it's like, and I say this, it's a privilege to be around me. And when I say that, man, it rubs people the wrong way. And that's funny because it's like, we tell women to know your worth, but when a guy knows his worth, he's usually demonized for it. And that's my next question. Why do you think a guy is demonized for knowing his worth?
Because of this generation.
Yeah. This generation
I wish
crazy.
that we could go back to the way that it used to be, where...
How far back we talking? Because there was a time. Because there was a time where I would get killed for talking to people like y'all. Okay,
I'm talking about like old school love. Like, I agree, a lot of things should be 50-50, but I just like... I don't know.
The reason why a man who knows his worth is demonized is because that is a man who can't be manipulated.
Okay, I see that.
And when a man is able to know his self-worth, he's not easily manipulated into being felt like a piece of shit for standing on what he believes in.
Why is that, though? Because, like, I love that Jacob has his head on his shoulders and knows his worth. Like,
well, here's the thing, is that people like Jacob and people that know what they're about and aren't afraid to kind of like have that certain standard and to hold it for everybody, it gets demonized because most of these girls, I'll just keep it a buck, don't know what real man looks like.
I don't.
Going back,
Shut up.
You know, I don't care if you didn't have a father or your father was around but wasn't really around, if you get what I'm saying, is that, you know, most of these guys aren't capable of leading a woman in a relationship. That's just the honest truth. You know, I don't know what y'all doing.
And as well as that is, it's honest as that is, let's think about it from the other side too. How many women are actually willing to follow?
That's a good question.
Because it's like this. It's kind of idiotic to pick a man who can't lead his own life, but it's like it's making you look bad as well if you can't even follow like the man that you chose.
And that too, and I always say that society tells girls to chase a career rather than chasing family.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you see girls being more independent, getting their bag, and I say that we are witnessing a shift in society right now to where women are becoming the men that they want, and
Facts.
men are becoming the women that they complain about.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, with these girls out here, I mean, y'all getting y'all's bag up, y'all trying to get y'all life together, doing well for yourselves, kids or no kids, whatnot. But for guys, they're out here in bed with God knows who. They're out here, doing all sorts of stuff. I mean,
on vacations.
I know, and it's like the opposite's going on right now. And guys are out here; they aren't getting it by themselves. They aren't out here hustling or whatnot. They have other girls giving them money. Mm-hmm. Lifting their truck up,
they're lifting,
getting them.
They're looking for a damn look. They're looking for a damn handout.
They looking for a handout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's like these guys. They don't.
if you want a woman to lead you, man, you gotta be able to lead yourself first, man.
This motherfucker totally just.
Did I already say what you said?
No. You just cut me the fuck off.
Oh, my fault, man.
It's crazy.
Keep it going.
But it's like these guys, they think that they don't have to work on themselves anymore. And it's like, here's very controversial opinion. I don't think that most women, they honestly respect men who have to self-improve. Let me explain what that means by that. Let me explain what I mean by that. All right, when a man approaches you, do you expect him to already have game?
No.
You don't?
But my guard is all the way up because I've been hurt so many times that I just walk away.
But my point is, though, it's like most women, they expect the man to know what he's doing already, but they don't understand like what it took for a man to figure out to know what he's doing. Because I think that most women, they fall in love with the finish line, but they don't fall in love with the process that it took to get to the finish line.
I mean, I will say, like,
Most
I
girls
fell in love harder with Jacob knowing that he's got his own place. Like, he pays his own bills because of someone not paying for their own stuff. But
yeah, you're falling in love with the end product, but I don't think. I think
that's completely. I mean, that's not.
That's not crazy to say.
It's not crazy to say. I mean, I think that's perfectly normal for.
But like a lot of girls nowadays don't want that.
And a lot of them are going to end up miserable. I mean,
what you want us to say?
Yeah, but I think that most ladies though, like they fall in love with the end product. They don't really know like what it took for that person to be made. I guess you could say.
I understand what you're saying, and what Justin's trying to say is that like girls want the. They wait at the finish line. They wait at the finish line and they get with the winners, right?
Yep. Instead of being there through everything.
Yep, and that's just how it goes. And most girls, they don't really care. They don't really care about what it took for him to get there. They just care that he got there.
Yep.
Right. And whenever they found out how he got there, they tend to have a problem with it, and they try to quote unquote change that man. And here's what the thing is, like, where most girls mess up at. They look at this playboy or the bad boy and be like, oh, I can change him, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing is that you're going to change him into someone that you don't desire, because women will they focus so much on changing that man and realize what happened to the man that they fell in love with.
And here's another thing that happens whenever they try to change a woman. But here's the difference between men and women. When we train a woman that we can eventually love and marry. But when a woman trains a man, she's going to train him into something that she'll eventually hate.
Unless it's real. In my opinion, unless you're at the point in your life.
But if you have to train a man in the first place, though, you're not going to.
That you want.
But if you have to train a man in the first place, though, you're not going to feel like you're being led.
You're right.
Because at that point, you're going to be the freaking leader.
It's like you're training to be a leader simultaneously. It's like you're leading that man to, like, you know, it's kind of, it's weird.
And it's ass backwards to ask for a leader if you're trying to train someone to be a different version of themselves. Yeah. That you fell in love with.
And that goes off like the whole past thing. Like once you hear somebody's past, like you step back. That's not how it should be.
Can't stand that.
That's not how it should be, but that's the way it is.
I mean, when I found out, like, it took Jacob some growing up to do. Like, you know, he has a past and he grew up, and that did not scare me.
I mean, we all got one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
whether it's good or bad, we all have one.
And it shouldn't matter, but but it does.
If it's before my time, it doesn't bother me.
I care for this very reason. Because I believe that trauma is different for both men and women. I believe that trauma builds us men and it destroys women.
Like last night,
that's why men care so much about the past, because it's like a lot of the stuff that women go through, it ultimately falls back on the man that they're with, because like you said before, your boyfriend was tickling you and he raised his hand up and you flinched.
I mean, my baby daddy has put me in the hospital. Like,
and that's the point that I'm trying to display. Like, I mean,
he made me drive myself to the hospital.
And that's one of the points I'm trying to make right now. I mean, obviously she couldn't control that happening to her.
His ass up.
I mean, she couldn't control that happening to her, but the fact that it happened to her, it continues to harm her. I mean, that's
the whole point.
And the man that you're with, he didn't have anything to do with that, but he's still
and I feel
being
so
affected
bad for him
by it,
because like he has to pick up the pieces that he did not break.
And that's what a lot of men have to go through, especially the first good man.
Yes.
That's one of the worst things that you could do as a man is being the first good man.
And he's my first relationship since I
First
left my
stable one.
Like literally,
Probably, huh?
like Jacob has his own life. Like he's got his own money. Like he does his own thing, and I'm so proud of him for it because he took on my kids and me, and he knew what he was stepping into. Literally, like the second night that we started hanging out, he found out that I had 2 kids, and it did not bother him.
Why do you think that would bother most men, though?
Because they don't want to raise somebody else's problem.
Or
Ooh.
because
You nailed
most
that.
girls are not over their baby daddy.
Well, that and
Which is annoying
Well, here's
to me.
another reason. They know that the baby dad will still have access to that woman no matter what, just because that her
'Cause
kids
that's
are his
awesome.
kids. And here's another reason. Say that I'm with a single mom and I grow a bond with that kid.
And then you guys break up, and
I lose her and the kid, so it's
Yep.
going to hurt twice as bad.
Jacob and I have that conversation all the time.
And I have no parental rights towards that kid, so I have no authority on
That's
if
when
I
it
can
gets
see
tricky.
that kid.
That's when it gets
But
tricky.
that's why you don't let every guy that you are with meet your kids until you know that this may progress on. Because, like, kids get confused.
Mm-hmm.
You bring a bunch of dudes around, they're going to call them dad,
Yep.
mama, like... But no, like, seriously, nothing
No,
bad like
no,
that. But if
well-
but think about it, like, if I let Dax go with somebody, then...
It almost happened to me. That's why I'm like, oh.
Wait, it almost happened
Do
to
I
you.
remember this?
No, you don't.
What?
I didn't tell you that.
I mean,
You didn't tell me this?
You never told me this? Did you tell me this?
I
You
think
never
it
told
was
me
a
that.
long time ago.
Bro, you never told me that, bro.
Huh?
You never told me
Well,
that?
it didn't really matter to me as much. I was
Bro,
like,
let
oh,
me
no.
laugh, bro.
I'm not.
Damn.
You are
I mean,
you are
like-
diabolical.
I'm sorry.
My youngest looks at Jacob like that's her dad.
It is the sweetest thing. Like,
I mean,
wanna
their
cry.
bond
And-
is like so cute.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? Like, not every relationship is like that. For a stepdad,
Yeah.
goes that way, and that's what most guys are afraid of when it comes to. I don't think it's a problem with taking on someone's child because I mean,
Here's another reason why it may be looked at as a problem. Because the right men, they know deep down they will never be number one.
Yep. And Jacob, and like that's another thing is like Jacob is full on understanding. He's like, I get that you guys have kids together, like because all my friends are like, block the dude, like block
But it's
him.
easier said than done.
But I can't
do that,
because
though.
I get that it's
If-
difficult. Like whenever you actually have like a you actually have like a byproduct of your
Not-
connection with that person.
not only that, and I don't update him on my kids because again, you wanted to walk out. I mean, I left, but he ended up walking out on his kids. Just because we're not together doesn't mean you can't see your kids.
I mean, I have everything that he's done. I mean, it's like, well, dang. I mean,
Do you deserve? Listen to this. When my daughter ended up coming out of the hospital for a little bit, she ended up having to go back to the hospital because she went septic due to a blood infection. And I texted him and I said, hey, because this is back when I still updated him. I said, hey, I'm letting you know this is happening with Riley. If you want to come to the hospital. Huh?
Was that when I was at your
Yes.
house that morning?
I texted him and he said, we're short-staffed at work. I don't want to leave them. Your daughter almost died for the second time and had a blood infection, staying in the hospital, and you didn't care?
you know what's insane too? As a man, you know, when it comes to work and all that stuff, like one, you can get another job. Two,
His job knew that she was sick.
But
Two-
nowadays you have jobs that understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. And then and two, do you think that they care? I mean, this is a job that will replace you
Yep.
in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
And you can't be replaced as a father.
No.
No. And I mean, if you lost your firstborn because you were too short-staffed at work,
That's not an excuse.
No, it's
No.
not. No, it's not an excuse because
You have a duty as a man to your kids to, you know, provide, protect, regardless of any situation.
and as well as that, like no one is too busy for anyone. They're just busy for what they don't see as a priority.
Yeah.
and I mean, Oakland had to go to the hospital like 4 weeks ago, and I texted Jacob and I said, Oakland's on the way to the hospital. He called me and he was like, do I need to head that way? He was at work. Like, when I tell you this man has stepped up 10 toes down, like, he knows what he's getting into. And
You don't
And-
find people like that.
and honestly, his friends are just as good because his friends include really just Oakland because I keep Riley like in a bubble because she gets sick so easily. But Oakland's with us all the time. And anytime we go do something, they're like, do you all want to bring Oakland? Like, we're going to Rod Run. And they're like, bring Oakland.
I'm going to ask you a very difficult question. And I don't want to sound like an asshole whenever I ask you this.
Oh, gosh.
And it's not about your kids, okay? Okay, so let's say that, okay, so obviously you love your kids to death. That's no secret.
Yeah.
But do you think, honestly, you picked the correct man to be a father?
As like my baby daddy? No. And I will 100%. But here's my thing. I know what led to us having kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
With our first, I don't agree with abortions. Like, that's not my thing.
No.
We were already too far along with my first one anyway. My second one was a Plan B baby. I took a Plan B and still conceived her. And in my eyes, God has a plan. And obviously, she outran that thing for a reason. Like, she still outruns everything.
And I'm happy that you gave me the answer that you gave me, because we see it in everyday life, the kind of men that these women be having children with, and we know that these men aren't fit to be dads.
And he isn't.
And we don't hear a lot of women admit that they've had kids by the wrong man.
And
we don't hear that.
But see, really the way I look at it is everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe that if I did not have kids with him, I would not have ended up with Jacob, because I was going military before I met my girl's dad, and my life would be totally different than what it is now. Like, I would not have started going to Cahoots, and I would not have started going to Revolver, and I would not have found my love in line dancing if I would not have left him at the time that I did.
Look at you, Barge.
Wouldn't have found me.
Sorry.
Too late. We're okay.
But you wouldn't have found me.
Shout out to Revolver, baby.
Shout out to Revolver, baby.
Honestly, because we had a friend that like got us together, like a mutual friend. Like MK and I went to Revolver, and then first and second time I never got his name. I saw my friend talking to him, and I was like, "Who was that?" And he was like, "Jacob." And I was like, "Okay, well, I want to know who that is." MK and I were like 6 margaritas deep after a picture.
So bad.
Cooked, man.
So bad. But those were the best nights ever, though.
I mean, we made some memories, and like thinking back of like how we met. When you meet somebody that you wish that you could go back and relive that moment all the time, like it's something.
But
different.
I can agree. But there's also like the guy who I wish that we were still in, like we first met. Now it's like.
But see, you were with a guy who led you on to think he was somebody that he wasn't.
Yeah, true.
A facade. Basically.
Jacob has never switched up.
Don't ever go along with that.
Yeah,
stuff gets, because it gets exhausting really quick,
really
and then you have to live up to a certain expectation that you know.
It doesn't,
you
but the expectation that it doesn't
to.
matter what. I mean, I do all this shit, and I still don't live up to that.
And
That's
anytime,
why, like, you gotta be honest with yourself as a man too.
Yep.
Like for me, it's like, bro, like I ain't got much, but like I still do my thing every now and then.
Yeah.
And I still grind it out, and anyone that can see it that way, and I look at girls like, well, you like me? It's like, yeah. I was like, you do understand I look like wet concrete, right? It's like, whatever. It's like, okay, we got this. Like,
and like with me, like money doesn't matter. I had no idea up until a couple of days ago what Jacob made. Like, because it doesn't matter to me. Like, if you love me and my kids,
like, you gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying?
Like it
you gonna
is
find
what
a
it
way.
is. Like,
look at Justin.
What?
Money doesn't matter, okay.
Because
if you're raising a family, it does.
And you're right, but we're not living together. We're not married. We may act like we're married, and we may be together.
Hey, for dates, man, money matters.
Look, I'm like, oh, you're at Jacob.
She's like, where are you at? And I'm like, where do you think I'm at?
No,
like,
I don't even ask. I just look. Oh, you're there.
Your car fixed, man. Money matters. Trust me, man. Money matters, motherfucker.
And it does.
Why do you think, man? Man, why do you think we grind our asses off? Because let me tell you something. We try to make this money.
But to me, like I fell in love with him for him, not for his money. Does that make sense?
Of course, but down the road, it's going to matter.
Yes, it
That's
matters.
my
It's gonna
point,
matter
though.
one day, but right now it doesn't.
But it's still going.
And it does matter right now, and I will 100% agree.
Man.
But I'm not with him for his money.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. No one's saying that, but I'm saying that it matters.
It
I'm
does
not saying
matter.
that. I'm not saying that
Okay.
you're not with him for his money. I'm saying that.
Okay, money matters.
I'm saying that it 1,000%.
He's just
I know
saying
what
that on
you
a
mean.
grand
Let me tell you
scale.
something. Money buys happiness, guys. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Let's just keep it a buck. Okay.
Money-
No pun
Anyway,
intended.
Justin.
He about to.
No
This
pun
man's got
intended,
his
but
money.
no pun intended, man. But let's keep it a buck, okay? All right, money absolutely matters. All right, that shit buys happiness, okay? It buys me food, okay?
This dude.
It keeps these lights on.
I'm assuming
Listen,
Justin pays the light bill.
As a man, I pay the light bill.
Then why do you care?
Why do you care? What
Because
Why do I care? Because I live here.
Life's a struggle.
You pay the water bill?
I've paid the light bill
That
before.
that comes with the rent.
Yeah, that comes with the rent.
He's paid it before.
I've held him down as well. I mean,
We hold each other down.
trust me, I've done
Trust
more
me.
for him
hold my
than-
sister down.
Trust me.
I've done more for him than you think.
She's about to go to college.
Trust me, I've done more for him than you think.
But
She don't
hey,
pay for nothing.
she
You don't
actually
even
does.
talk. Look.
She actually
Phone bill.
Phone bill, her
It's
social
easy
life.
to say something
Thanks to me.
whenever someone doesn't talk about it, man. But it's like
You keep
motherfuckers
this
gotta
up, you
realize,
gonna-
like, it's like, man, people gotta realize, man. I've done stuff for him that people don't even dream of. I mean, people don't even have. People have no
this
idea.
Like what?
Don't do that. Okay,
I wanna
but my
know.
point is
For
though, but my point is though, man, I've helped so many people down in more ways
And
than
it
people
gets
can think.
walked over you.
I mean, it kind of gets.
It gets overlooked.
It gets overlooked because
But-
like motherfuckers like to focus on the bad instead of the good. And it's like this is why you're always freaking unhappy. I mean, you deserve to be unhappy.
I will say this though, from what Justin said. Whenever I help someone, I'm not looking for
An
like
appreciation.
I'm not
like-
looking for
I'm looking
recognition.
Yeah.
for a thank you. What?
Okay, that's not what I meant. I meant like
Well,
recognition from
because
it,
like when you help
Yeah, yeah.
because like when you help someone with expectation to get something back,
You're gonna be disappointed.
you're
Yeah.
a manipulator.
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
know,
doing anything good for yourself.
Whenever I lend someone $20, I'm thinking that's gone. I'm give you $20. I'm not expecting it back. That's what I'm
I've
saying.
had someone 40 and
And-
they over
and-
here.
You said
Like
fuck
They
20.
rate
40.
Charles with it. I give it someone 30, man. I still ain't got that.
Giving somebody
but I mean
thousands.
but like I help someone, right? But at the same time, the only thing I'm expecting is for you to like be like, "Hey, I appreciate it," and because of you, I'm gonna get it together. I'm not
Right.
expecting you to come back and over again asking for gas money because then it's gonna come to me like, "All right, what you doing? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all have had someone constantly ask y'all for things, right? Mm-hmm. And thinking like, "Hey, like, why you keep asking for stuff? I thought you had it. You know, I understand things happen. Why you got it together, man? Like,
That's what
come
I'm
on."
saying.
Stop, get out of that bar and get back to work.
Get out that room.
Okay,
Get out
you
that
are
room.
to me that you have no
Pull out
money,
that computer.
but then
Go to Indeed.
Go on your Snapchat.
Go
and
to
I-
LinkedIn.com, baby.
If I see you're at a bar and you complained to me like 2 or 3 days ago that you don't have any money,
or you cash app yourself from our
You
bank
start
account.
thinking,
cash
right?
app yourself.
You start thinking,
You
like-
start thinking what they. Or the same night that you asked me, "Hey, can I have some money for gas?" And you're at a bar. Like,
Dang, like, what's going on, man? What you doing?
what is it?
Like,
you
lock
have
in.
money to go to the bar,
Right.
but where's your money for gas? Where's your money for rent? Like,
And they
where's
be
all your money?
and they be claiming like here's the game that like guys play, right? I'm just gonna put you on a game, right? They will,
Sell success.
huh?
We sell success.
Yeah, guys sell success, women sell purity. Type, you know what I'm saying? And for guys, I'm just putting you on a game. The guys will in real life they ain't really got nothing going on.
Right.
They broke.
Let's keep it a buck. Women can tell a good man from a shitty man. Let's keep it a
Yes.
buck.
Let's
keep it a buck.
And there's some
But
that
most
put on a good
guys
show.
can really, but most
Let's
guys
keep it
can
a buck.
really put on a show, man.
Dude,
Those,
mine
because
did.
those are the ones who understand women.
Mine did.
My baby daddy, when I met him, was
Those are
driving
the
a
ones you really
Camaro.
gotta look out for, though.
Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
but-
mine put on a real good show.
yeah, my
My
baby
point
daddy
exactly. I
did.
mean,
He got real comfortable.
yeah, but my point exactly though is like we have to understand the women to get the women. They don't
Yeah.
have to understand a man to get a man because guess what? They're going to attract a man regardless if they're a 2 or an 8.
Whether acting stupid or acting
They
intelligent.
have to understand the man to keep the guy around.
the
But
way that Jacob and I met was we were shit talking each other playing cornhole. Like, and when the way he was shit talking me, I was like, okay,
you were probably talking like one of the boys, and he
Yeah, like,
gravitated towards that.
I'm the same way with his friends. Like, I'll talk shit to his friends because
You probably understood him quicker than most girls would understand a guy. But my point is that you understood him so well. That's what kept him around.
right.
Because a lot of girls, they don't understand most men because they have never really had to. But these girls that you see out here getting proposed on Instagram, those are the ones who really understand their guy.
Yep.
And
How
they're
you-
getting
listen.
and they're getting rewarded for understanding that individual.
And I think like all of my friends, like even Haley and like MK, like Ree can say like, because Ree was living with me when Jacob and I first got together.
My weekend house.
She could tell you like the way that Jacob looks at me.
It's different.
And everybody's like, oh, you're married already. Like, y'all are going to get married. Like, Ree jokes around all the time. She's like, when are we planning a wedding? And I'm like, y'all, let's.
I want what she has.
Let's slow it down.
Like, I look up to her. No, seriously, I look up to her and thinking, okay, maybe one day I can have that.
Because, like, Jacob and I, like,
that's good.
There'll be times where MK's like, do you guys argue? Like, are you guys fighting? And I'm like, no, we literally have adult conversations. Have we argued? Yes.
But whenever
one night was because of the bar.
But one night, but whenever he doesn't get his way, he doesn't act like a kid, right?
No, he doesn't.
And
like
it doesn't matter what I do.
I bet you he probably does this. Does he raise his words and not his voice?
What do you mean by that? Like,
okay. So here's
You might want to explain that one.
Whenever I'm having a dispute with someone, I try my hardest not to raise my voice, but I try to raise my words. Because here's what. Okay, well, here's an easy analogy, and it might help you get. Think about flowers, okay? Flowers, it grows with rain, not with thunder.
Right.
I mean, we talk a lot of things through. Like, he doesn't ever yell at me. Like, there's been one bad argument, and it was because of somebody. There was a group of guys. I was walking into the bathroom at Revolver, and they jerked me to try and talk to me, and I was like, no. I was like, leave me alone. I have a boyfriend. And I walked into the bathroom. They waited for me to get out, but I didn't tell Jacob who they were, and he got upset.
Yes, and
I agree with him. Like,
yes, and I would get upset too, because like if we show willingness to solve an issue, you have to tell us that issue, or else it won't get solved.
But he didn't automatically assume you were hiding something, right?
No,
see, that's
and it
generations
was like,
today.
Because I was scared that he was going to get hurt, I know that him and his best friend could have handled it perfectly fine, but to me, like, I've never been with a guy who's wanted to protect me.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Mine to come over there.
See, and here's the thing, though. You already put him inside of a bubble with thinking with that mindset of because of the fact that you never had someone who would protect you. You already put him inside of a bubble.
We don't expect you to like immediately flip the switch,
and
right?
I'm trying very hard.
That takes time. It takes time.
If we show like willingness to solve like that issue, and you like don't help you, I mean, it's like you're asking to struggle in that department.
Right.
And one thing that I cannot stress enough is like they're asking to be victims. Like whenever they do that, women ask to be victims when they do that.
It's like they want to struggle.
It's like they want to struggle. And it's like, who in the hell wants to struggle?
To me, it was like I knew that he had been drinking, and I knew that his best friend had been drinking, and like I was just worried because I knew that he could handle it, but there was like 5 of them.
I mean,
and they were all
extremely high.
Yes. Like, and I knew, to me, I was worried, like, what if he got arrested because of me? Like what if he got in a fight, the bar called the cops, and he got arrested because of me?
Well, I think, well, I think that's a different situation, but let's say that he was, like, sober and stable. Like, would you have told him?
Yes.
Because I think if he were to just go fight him, he would have been acting off your emotions.
I didn't feel like they would have not had a fair fight, because I felt like those types of guys would not have given a fair fight. I feel like they would have pulled something out and like really hurt him.
But it's not always going to end up in a fight. I mean, maybe just
they were ready to fight. They were ready to fight somebody.
Unless they just like they're ready to crash out.
They were walking out,
and they looked at me and they said, "You," and
I went like, I gave them the middle finger, and literally it took what? Jacob, Logan
wasn't out there.
Oh, Jacob.
You know who?
The other one and his homeboy. Like, it took 3 of them to just like calm him down.
Do people just be ready to crash out nowadays?
Well, this is why I really preach stoicism, and to like really know how you feel, and know that like what situation you're in, because any man with good sense wouldn't really spaz out in a situation like that.
And that's why he didn't. Like he was calm. We walked into the truck. He was more upset at the fact that like I wasn't telling him who, and I totally agree. Like, I get it.
Yeah,
I agree that I should have told who it was, but in the moment, that's my boyfriend. Like, I don't want to see him hurt. I don't want to see his best friend hurt. Like, it's not something.
Yeah, but I'm sure that he knows that it's not really wise to act off of how your girl feels compared to what's actually the proper thing to do.
Some of these girls getting these guys killed out here.
Yeah. There's a lot of girls out here who's getting their man killed.
And that's what scares me is like, what if they brought a knife out and like really hurt him, and I lost him and my girls lost him? Like, that's who they look up to now.
And I mean, for me, whenever I talk about like whether you see something that's potentially going to be a fight, I'm really not confrontational in that sense, because
forget that, man. Avoid confrontation.
I avoid confrontation as much as possible, because you gotta understand, those guys may be ready to die that night.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't give a fuck about their lives.
A lot of people don't really care about their lives like that. And the guys, they may have other guys surrounding him that you don't even know about. Right. They may have something on them.
As well as that, man. Think about it, man. There's some people out here who just begin disrespected all their life. If they just had enough, like, it could be like their last straw before they like crash out and then bam. Fear.
You want to talk about self-defense? The greatest self-defense you can have is walking away. That's your first form of self-defense.
No, the greatest form of self-defense is make sure that you're not even in that scenario in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's even
to
better.
the point where motherfuckers end up as collateral damage.
I guess that's your second form then.
Because like, what the hell? There's no walking away if you're not in a situation to walk away in.
To me, like, Jacob's never been with a girl that has kids. Like, and I know that he's like ready for that lifestyle, but my biggest fear is that he doesn't truly, and I know that he understands, but like sometimes because I'm so used to their dad didn't care about them. Like, he would come home, get on the game, not care. He would literally come and go like as he pleased, not care. I'm not used to somebody like sitting down and actually wanting to be around my kids and understanding that they have a family to come home to.
Let's talk about that for a second, right? Because this go back to just trauma, right? I always say that women and even guys, in a sense, they choose the familiar hell with the unfamiliar heaven. Whenever I say that, I mean, I'm using Mary Kay, for example, because I mean, you live this, right? Yeah. You talk to me about it all the time, and these guys come to you for resources, whether it be for your body, money, etc., right? And it's hard to kind of get out of it because you know how to navigate those kind of dudes. You don't know how to navigate that boring guy that just wants to, take care of you, do his own thing. He ain't worried about what everybody else is doing. He ain't worried about it. Right. And he's not in all that drama. So if you came across a guy that, went on like that, it's like, like what? I'm going to argue with him, do whatever, and all that stuff. I'm not saying you would, but it's different.
It is.
It's different, and you don't know how to navigate that kind of person.
Well, I was actually it kind of depends. I was actually talking to somebody who wanted to take care of me.
Mm-hmm. Don't even.
After the other weekend.
Don't even.
And I didn't know how to, like, navigate it. He was just like...
You were a little hesitant, too.
I had my ex-boyfriend call... Well, I don't even want to call him an ex. The one we were just talking about. Okay. Yeah, calling me, blowing me up, threatening me. Remember?
And that's the thing, too. Like, you got to think about it. When you get with these kind of guys that... Let's say, for example, you got with someone, right?
Yeah.
And are these guys are they going to be calling you over and over again? Or do you think that new guy would appreciate something like that?
Calling me?
Someone else calling you that used to.
He didn't appreciate it at all.
Yeah, right. So,
but I blocked him, and he called me off a no caller ID 10 times.
Okay.
And it got worse.
And that's why, like, I had somebody message me the other day, and we were in the car. And
we were in the car together.
Jacob, and I was like, "Hey,
doesn't that suck though?"
It does.
Because I mean, like, what if you like get with someone that and you got something going on here?
I did.
Do you think they're going to like try and ruin it?
He definitely did. He definitely ruined whatever me.
That's just toxic, man.
Yeah, that's.
He literally sat and we were actually going to get cookout, and he was like, "I can't."
Like, dang, let me live.
Yeah, he was like, I do want to work it out, and I do actually like want to be with you because Sam knows what happened the other weekend, and we were kind of like talking things out, and this person kept calling my phone. He was like, I do want to work it out with you. He goes, but I can't deal with that calling you off a no caller ID, threatening you. He threatened to come from Knoxville all the way down here to beat up.
Yeah, because a lot of guys.
The guy I was talking to.
Yeah,
and even there was a time where him and I would hang out. Just one weekend, the guy from Knoxville. And he got so mad at me, I honestly thought he was going to hit me. And that's just the trauma that I had before. He got so mad because of something so stupid.
Yeah, and a lot of... That was. Yeah, and a lot of guys, they don't want to tolerate any outside noise.
Deal with that kind of,
No.
That they didn't have nothing to do with in the first place. I know I wouldn't, me personally. Like, I mean, because it's bullshit. I mean, I mean, if I'm playing my best foot forward, then I have to. If I'm a best version of myself, and I have to even think about tolerating that bullshit, like I'm just gonna be out.
And that's where
I can't do it.
That Jacob's a different breed because like he has to deal with my baby daddy. Like we don't, like
that's a given. Because it's like
like he stepped into
mother,
it.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a given. I mean, but what if this girl doesn't have kids and she still has people?
Then there's no reason if you don't have kids with somebody, you should be able to cut ties with that person.
I think
easily.
I think this, man. If you don't have kids with someone, you can move on with life.
Yep.
But as soon as you have kids with them, man, you have to deal with them.
In all reality, like once this man gets served those child support papers, there will be no contact because I used to.
You gonna cut it off right then and there?
I am
you gonna do it?
Honestly, with both of my daughters'
she fed up, dog.
We don't know how long we have with her. Like both of them are around age 13, like is what they're saying. And that's hard because you should not outlive your kids.
Yeah.
And he knew that and he knew what we were getting into, but when you walked out, you walked out.
Yeah.
And I used to sit there and cry. I mean, y'all, there was multiple times where we used to meet at the police station to like drop off because I used to make him take his kids.
Yeah.
He would get off of work on Fridays. He would pick them up Friday nights and drop them off Saturday night. Mm-hmm. He would not even keep them a full 24 hours, but he thought that was doing something. But I used to have to make him. If he found out that I was going out, he would have me meet him at the police station and then drive off.
Yeah.
Not even pick up his kids.
Yeah, I will say that if you have to make a man if you have to make a man.
But he's got everybody out here thinking that he's a good dad. Like, and he's not.
If you have to make
it's cap.
If you have to make a man be with his kids, then
there's no reason.
And there's a problem.
And I hate that because you have these girls nowadays who are just being bitter and who take their baby daddy like out of their lives when they really want to be a dad. But for
there's
me,
dudes who actually want to be in their kids' lives.
I literally just told Jacob last week, I was like, I really wish that like he wanted to be a dad and he would start wanting to take the girls.
He don't want to be no dad.
No, but we have literal proof because my oldest has nurses that help take care of her during the week because of everything that she's got going on. They have literal documented proof that he would not feed my child and would not give her medicine because she would start going through narcotic withdrawals and she would not have any
Can't you get like locked up for something like that?
You should be able to. You really should
like
because and we used to be able to tell because on her feed pump you can tell like how much has been given. It would still be the same as when I dropped her off.
Nah, he borderline trying to kill your kid.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, because it's crazy because there's a lot of men out here who actually want to have a connection with their kids, and there's a lot of women who are withholding them from it. So it's like,
and it's sad.
Yeah, and it sucks ass, but that's just life. I mean, we as men, we don't really have any rights when it comes to our kids anymore, and that's just the way it is. And that's why a lot of men fear having children because we want to make sure that we won't have kids with the right person. And I don't know why women, on the other hand, don't fear this as much as men. Because women have the most important job on this planet. Picking the right men to have kids with.
I don't think we fear, like, just for me and you. I don't think we fear marriage or kids and stuff like that. I think I do know what it takes to be in a marriage and to have kids and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I know that I want to be in a certain position, whether it be just financially and things like that, to do that correctly. Now, I know I'm going to mess up and things of that nature, but I definitely want to minimize those mistakes as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right? So, me definitely being back in the church and things like that, I'm seeing what really matters and what doesn't matter in a relationship. And I do know that most girls get this. I just learned about this, too, in the Bible. Most girls get this thing wrong about what makes a man, right? Mm-hmm. Society has told us what makes a man, and we have gone off of that. And it goes off the 3 B's, right? The bedroom, the ball field, and the billfold. How much does he make? How good is he in bed? Yep. Right? Is he athletic? Does he look good? And all that stuff. We think that makes a man, right? No. But you'll find out real quick that it takes more than that, right? If anything, those are bonuses, right? Yep. So, hey, can he lead your family? Can he lead your kids spiritually? Can he lead you correctly and all those things? Because that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Someone else's kids that aren't truly yours.
If you know me, you know that
it gets real.
If you know me, you know that my dad is like my best friend. Like that is somebody who I can call at any time of day and he would be there. I want to find somebody. I know it sounds weird, but I want to find somebody who is like my dad.
I see Jacob like my dad.
I want
This
to
is
find
why-
my
Well,
dad.
that's not
is
ridiculous,
literally my
yeah.
best
And
friend.
this is why fathers are so important and not even fathers. I'm talking about dads. I mean, anyone can be a father, but the men who are out here doing it, they're dads. And
I think you have it flipped over.
no.
Anyone could be a dad, but
No.
it takes different to be a
Anyone
father.
can be a father, but not everyone can be a dad.
I think it's backwards, Justin.
No.
I'm sure. I think it's backwards.
No, my dad used to do trucking when I was a baby. And he came and picked me up from daycare. I never like I saw him, but I never remembered him. Yeah. He came and picked me up from daycare one time, and I did not know who he was. I screamed bloody murder whenever he picked me up and took me to the truck. My dad that same day quit his job and became a maintenance guy. Worked horrible ass hours, but my dad looked at me and he was like, I'm not going to have my child not know who I am.
And same thing with my dad.
And it's like that. Me and my dad never had a good relationship in middle school. I hated my dad. But I love my dad now.
I don't remember my dad much as a kid because like my dad was in
I think that's just a
service
part
when I
of
was a
it.
kid. And then he became a cop. So like growing up, when I was very young, like I don't remember my dad a lot, but my dad, like as I got older, my dad and I used to do like little things. And we fell off. Like when I got pregnant with my oldest, we didn't talk. Like we stopped talking. And I get it. He was disappointed because of the role that I was going for. Mm-hmm. I got pregnant. I had a handicapped child. But he loves my kids. My dad has my location. Before Jacob and I got together, every single night that I would go line dancing, I would call my dad and I'd say, "Hey, I'm going out. Just letting you know. Have my location."
I got a question. Do you compare Jacob to your father?
I do.
Okay. And that was going to validate my next point. I always say that whenever a dad's in a little girl's life, eventually, whenever she's picking a man, she will seek that from her. She will seek what she got from her dad into her next man.
Because my dad's not always going to be there the rest of my life. And I want to be able to make sure I have a guy who I can call when I'm on the side of the road. Say, "Hey, I have a flat tire. I need you to, can you come help me?" And he would be there.
And I will say this.
And
I will say this. Whenever a woman doesn't have that father, she's going to seek that unconditional love in promiscuous ways.
And going off what she said, like being stuck on the side of the road, the second night Jacob and I started talking on a Friday, the Saturday that we started talking, my phone got stolen, and guess who was there?
Oh my God,
He went all the way home.
Yeah.
And I texted him from a friend's phone, and I said, "Hey, my phone got stolen. I'm just letting you know." He met me at the house that we tracked my phone down to.
You were literally tracking her phone on my phone.
That man literally tracked me, like met me at the house that my phone got stolen, left his house, and then took me to Waffle House after that, and we hung out that same night, and I have not been home since.
And here's another thing that I was going to point out. Do you know what the difference is between your dad and every man that you're going to encounter? Do you know what's the difference? Your father wants you to be at your best, but he's not seeking anything from you.
Yep. I mean, and my dad is like my best
Every
friend.
man that you encounter who's not your dad, he will seek something from you, whether that's marriage, whether that's sex, whether that's money, whether that's resources. We as men, we will seek something from our woman, vice versa. That's why we're with that person, because we seek something with them.
You're providing some sort of value to each other,
and you don't need, and as a father, you don't need your little girl to provide anything to you, but all you want to do is be at their very best. And for a little girl, I believe that means the world to him, to know that there's a man who wants them at their best, who will love them at their worst as well, without fucking them first.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, Jacob and I did not hook up the first night that we started hanging out.
That's smart. How y'all feel about let's see, when it comes to boundaries, right? Was there what kind of sort of boundaries do y'all have with each other? Or I guess, I know you're single, right? But like when it comes to boundaries, what's the deal breaker to like if he did this, like it's over with, right? This is kind of like bringing me to
Put his hands on me,
Yeah.
cheat on me.
okay.
I mean, and that's the thing is like I know that he would never do that, and to me, it's like we took it slow with my kids, and he was totally like he lets me discipline my kids the way I want to. He doesn't overstep. He took on Oakland, and he took on both of my kids the way that they were his. But he understands that Riley is older, and Riley doesn't call him daddy. She calls him Jacob because
Yeah.
she's older and she understands. With Oakland, Oakland saw a picture of my baby daddy the other day, and she used to scream daddy. She doesn't even know who that is anymore, and it's sad.
That's
Dang,
crazy.
that's
That's
But she's
what
only
sister said.
2. So it's like, I mean, she literally just turned 2. So
She's not going to remember.
no,
I ain't
and in
gonna lie to
my
you.
eyes, and with his family, I have never, like, his family, anytime they text me and they're like, hey, can we see them? They'll see them. But after what just happened with him shooting himself, I have told his family that we can meet at a park. You guys can come over to my house. I said, but unfortunately, until all this court stuff has gone on and has happened, I don't want him around, because what if he's doing something out of spite to me and hurts my kids?
I think that's the selfish thing that he has ever that guy could do. I mean, you have people counting on you. You got kids. You got a girl.
And why bring your baby mama into it instead of he was
he
with a girl, and instead of, she had no idea, because she ended up messaging me. The girl that he was with, I do not like her because of, you know, her sneaking around my kids. She says that she didn't know, but you did know. And then she was only 16. To me,
Wait, what?
Wait,
yes, she was only 16.
Go ahead.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Yes.
that's cooked, bro.
Hold on. Whoa.
No, that's cooked, man.
Damn, hold on.
That was my main reason, is because before I moved out, he started sneaking around with her. He was her manager at work.
Cooked, bro.
And that was my biggest thing.
You only gotta say no more.
I got a question. Wait, here's another question. But here's my last question.
Yeah. Go for it.
Whenever you're with your children, does it like whenever like you look at them, like does it like unfortunately like bring back like terrible memories,
mean,
knowing that they're half of him?
No, because at the end of the day, I know if he's anything like his dad, he's going to walk out and he's not going to come back. So, like, my youngest, if you look at my youngest and you look at Jacob, like, I see similarities, but my oldest is a spinning image of her dad.
Yeah.
Do I love it? No. But are my kids beautiful, and I love the outcome?
Because
that
a
I
lot
got
of
from
moms
them?
out here, they
Yes.
resent their kids because they look like their dad.
But also,
I would never trade
That's tough.
my kids. And yes, I hate my baby daddy, and yes, like, what happened. But without him, I would not have the two things that have kept me stable on this earth.
I agree.
Of course, yeah.
Sam, I just have a question. How quickly was it for Jacob? Like, when you told him you had kids, was it quick that he wanted to meet the girls?
No, he let me take my time. He actually ended up meeting Oakland for a Christmas parade because, like, I kept putting it off, and he was totally understanding. When Jacob and I actually first got together, Riley was still in the hospital. So, like, when we started talking, she was still sick. He never asked any questions. He never overstepped. Like,
That's my biggest thing. Like, when I was talking to the guy from Knoxville, like, we literally just met each other the night after, because I went to Virginia the next day. Literally, we were texting and we were on FaceTime, and he already like wanted to change Dax's last name. Like, he already wanted to change it. He already wanted to be
Red flag.
Dude, it was like the biggest red
flag.
flag. It was like, and that's like, I guess that's one of my boundaries. Like, you don't need to, like, don't try and replace or do something that you're not, like, that's not your role.
That's a few levels up.
Yeah, like you're like acting like we've been together for like years.
You're not just trying to see the kid.
Yeah,
Nah,
you're trying to change the last name. Like, you're already like, I don't want you having any more correspondence with his dad. Like,
he trying to get them taxes.
all of that. And I'm like, okay, like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that, bro. Like, I guess that's one of my biggest boundaries.
It's
Like,
just questions.
no.
But yeah, there's a lot of things I would like to say, but for the sake of time and things like that, I know y'all probably want to go somewhere.
Yeah, they got somewhere to be, man. It's 8:30.
9 o'clock is coming very soon.
Oh my God, if we don't get there at 9, I'll pay for you guys. God dang.
you'll be fine. No, you'll be fine. You'll get there before 9. But the last thing
I'll be calling Parker.
Hey.
the last thing I would like to say in closing is that
How you paying for shit?
wow, that's tough.
I was like, hey, you got Justin.
I'll
Bieber
die.
on you?
I'll die.
That's cooked, bro. But
He's got the
That's
bills to
cheating.
keep paying.
That's me cheating right there.
oh my
In
god.
my opinion, that's cheating in my book. For me.
Oh
What?
my goodness.
If I provide resources for another woman, yeah, that's cheating for me.
Yeah, that's why Parker's right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 1,000% for sure.
I want to
Yeah,
give
hell
her
that.
anything, man.
Yeah, man, hell that.
Cooked.
Yeah, hell that.
Okay, so in closing, what advice do you have to other single mothers who may be struggling?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah, speaking the mic too. Yeah, speak your mind.
Okay.
So stupid.
Everybody wants a baby until
You actually have one.
you find out that something is wrong with that baby. I was 18 going on 19 and have a terminal child. And everybody wants a baby to dress up. And I used to get yelled at for him taking me to the NICU every day. I got my hands, he put his hands on me.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that part, about him putting your hands on you. Put your headphones in. I want you to hear this. Put your headphones in.
What's he about to ding?
Just do it.
Here's what you're going to do next time. This is exactly what you're going to do, okay? Because I'm not asking you to do this. I'm telling you to do this. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick up that phone, press 3 numbers, and here's what's going to happen.
FBI, open up! That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Lock his ass up, man. You're going to jail now, boy.
We got to start punishing people for doing stupid shit.
Listen, man. Listen. We got to start putting these people in jail, okay? We got
to start punishing people
bars.
for making shit decisions, man.
Yeah. We got to start holding people accountable.
But no matter how, if you put him in jail, I mean, think about it. My ex was in jail for beating the crap out of somebody, me in particular as well. He was only in jail for literally 1 year, and now he's out on probation for 10 years and can walk freely. And till this day, I know he still puts hands on somebody.
And in my
it's time to lock him up again, man.
It doesn't matter how long you lock them up; they're still gonna do it. They don't care.
I guess the guy death sentence coming
And
up
what's
now.
Yeah, I was going to say,
crazy
yeah,
to me
if you want.
So, yeah, you would think that
is the girl that he is no longer with, apparently, but that she was with. She came to me for advice. I sent her all the pictures of like the bruises that he left on me, the gash that he left. Because when he put me in the hospital, he banged my head so hard into the metal door frame on the apartment that he left a gash in my head. I had to go for CT scans. Like, I had to drive myself to the hospital. She saw all that, and she still stayed with him. And then she was telling me that he was getting verbally loud at her.
baby.
Sorry.
I mean, some people got to learn the hard way. I mean,
And I hate to say that, but you stayed with him, and you knew exactly what he was doing to me. He told me that he did not want custody of his kids because he looks at them the same way as he looks at our animals.
shit.
So, what kind of advice you have, huh, Mary Kay?
I will say that it is hard. It's not easy to do alone, but if you do have a support system like your friends or your family like that, it does make it.
It takes a village.
10 times better.
Don't do it until you're financially stable.
Yeah,
and you
please
pick the
don't do it
right
until
one.
you're financially stable. But
So money does matter. Got it. Okay.
Parker?
I mean, I don't pick a guy over your child and support them, and then don't do that. But have
Be
a
with
good
them.
support system.
And-
Be with them, and that child's going to look up to you, and whatever you do, that's going to make you work 10 times harder, even when you want to give up. When you don't want to go to work, you got to think about it. I got a kid I got to provide for. That's the person who goes, Mommy, I'm like, one day they're going to go, Mommy, I'm so proud of you. And hearing those words, it melts it hurts. It makes you want to cry.
Yeah,
When I get dressed for things, my oldest will go, right, Mommy, you're so pretty.
Yeah, she does that when I get ready too. She's like, okay, you're so pretty.
And to piggyback on what you said,
Get on her knees.
and to piggyback on what you said,
cry.
yeah, and to piggyback on what you said, I mean, unfortunately, it does come down to you too, because you are the single moms. I mean, you become the leader of your children's lives, and because you're the leader of their lives, guess what that's going to mean? If they turn out to be
Horrible.
if they turn out to be horrible members of society,
man.
if they turn out to be horrible members of society, you're going to get that credit for
Which
it.
it's how you raise your
But guess
kids.
what? If they turn out to be great members of society, you're going to get that credit for it.
I'm so terrified till this day that Dax is going to turn out just like his dad. And that right
I'm
there,
afraid that-
it
'cause
scares me.
my
I look at
youngest-
him and I
You
can
want something?
see him.
You want some advice? You have a boy, right?
Yeah.
Have him around
Women.
men. No, have him around other men that you would want him to be like.
And that's why I
My dad.
cut my baby daddy off, because I see Oakland. You see Oakland with her baby doll, and she'll be like, she sees Jacob kiss me, and she'll be like, kiss, 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 kiss.
She does that to my
Or
niece.
she tries to like feed her, because I breastfed Oakland until she was 1.5. She'll try and feed her baby, and I'm like, she picks up on things.